You played most of your career in the Premier League. How different has it been for you this season playing in the Championship?
Um, I think it's quite relentless. You play a game almost every 3 days, um, which actually I really enjoy. Because you're always competing, and if you do lose a game, in 3 days' time, you can put it right. So it's tough on the body for sure, but yeah, I think I've coped with it quite well.
In terms of that, I mean, we're always told players would rather play than train.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, training can be fun, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing like competing against another team and trying to get 3 points.
Kyle Walker-Peters. What makes him a captivating addition to the Jamaica men's national team? Join Premier 7 right now for the big chat. Failure doesn't mean the game is over. It means try again with experience. This is a top-notch quote written by Vector Score, and it speaks directly to the importance of today's topic surrounding Kyle Walker-Peters. The topic is Kyle Walker-Peters, what makes him a captivating addition to the Jamaica men's national team? I mean, Jamaica needs more than what they currently have, seeing that the World Cup is a few years from now, and I think this is one of the easiest paths for Jamaica to book a spot in the World Cup in 2026. However, people, as your host, I have to ask as usual, how are you doing today? I hope that you all are having a fantastic day. So, the topic that you're seeing on screen will be split into different categories surrounding the flashback of Kyle Walker Peters, a little talk about his player profile, and of course, is it worth it for Coach Steve McLaren to generate interest in his recruitment? But I have to point this out to you because this video title stems from an important poll that was being posted. The poll mentioned that if you could choose one to represent Jamaica, Reggae Boys, would it be Kyle Walker Peters or Dade Spence? And the first response mentioned that KWP is the better player and can help us on both flanks. So the clear choice. I mean, it was absolutely a fast and quick response, for which I appreciate. And you can see on screen that there are indeed 25 comments. So that shows that even though 64 votes has been cast in, with 75% stating Kyle Walker Peters to Spence 25%, the comment section is engaged with the importance of the question being asked. So, Kyle Walker Peters, what do you think generally about him before I even start to talk about him on the channel? Do you think that this guy is an ideal option, a captivating addition, an interested addition to help the Jamaica men's national team? Well, I mean, you always can have your say because I'm going to do what is best here. So, Kyle Walker Peters, if you can remember, in the year of 2021, there was a petition that was being done surrounding the recruitment of some players that Jamaica Football Federation, the JFF, should take into consideration to boost and strengthen the Jamaica men's national team. And this petition was put together by Teddy Lee Gray and basically 25 supporters, and that was 3 years ago. However, the importance of the petition stated that calling on the JFF to recruit Louis Baker, James Justin, Nathan Redman, and Kyle Walker Peters. So the interest has been there from a long time. So let me just go into a little surrounding the petition and why this petition matters. So, just right here, you're seeing the list of names here, but below it, it states that former Reggae Boys player and Leicester City player and captain Wes Morgan can assist the JFF with the recruitment of Justin James, the very versatile wingback because he was at Leicester at that time, having two steering players at one club is a good thing for team chemistry. Hence, the football administration should try getting Nathan Redman and Kyle Walker Peters. And you can go through this on your own. I am just pointing out to you here that the flashback is reflecting on the importance of Jamaican fans having that strong interest in a Kyle Walker Peters. Jamaica have Lembikisa as the prime or the ideal or the starting right back, but Jamaica needs depth. And I think Kyle Walker Peters could be a fantastic option for Jamaica. But the thing is it a case in which Kyle Walker Peters wants to play for Jamaica? But not to worry, Premier 7 have the structure, and I will go to that point in some aspect of the video. So Kyle Walker Peters, just to let you know, is 27 years of age. He plays in the fullback position, mainly as a right back, with most of his games being played at Southampton. 138 games, 4 goals. However, he started his England career at the under 18 level straight up to 2022, with less games being played for England in 2022, 2 games. So, even though he has played for England from the under 18 straight up to the senior team, he hasn't played much in the senior team at this point, seeing that 2022 was his last appearance. And I think with the experience that Kyle Walker Peters have right now, I think Jamaica would need someone with such depth and tactical awareness, to play in different style and different formation for the Jamaica men's national team. But I want to go more in depth surrounding Kyle Walker Peters' profile by way of an assessment because I think even though Lemby Kisa is the starting right back for the national team, for every team there should be competition. And seeing that Kyle Walker Peters is that type of guy who has the competitive thing about him, it will not be a walk in the park for Lemby Kisa. So let's just go through a little thing here about Kyle Walker, just pointing out his achievement, And it is seen that he has won the under 20 World Cup Championship before for England. Of course, he's in the Premier League right now with Southampton, which showed that he have that interest to stay at the club, even though things can change. However, with his fighting spirit, he tries his best to execute for his team, and with his contribution, they move from the championship and back into the Premier League. Having made 2 appearances this season so far for Southampton, he started in both games. He covered in excess of 90 minutes, and that shows that the coach relies heavily on this guy. The third game will be against Brentford at 9 a.m. if you wish to take in the game. Seen down below that he's of Jamaican descent, and also he can play at left back and also at right back. So far so good. It is showing that we have versatility in a Kyle Walker Peters. I mean, Jamaica would be more so stocked with reliable option at the left back position, seeing that Jamaica was linked to a Tarek Mitchell as well. If all goes well for him, it would be hard for Jamaica to choose out of a Tarek Mitchell, a Amara Bill, and a Greg Lee. But to let you know as well here, for Kyle Walker Peters, with him coming in possibly if Jamaica regenerate their interest, I just want to let you know that this guy, based on his ability, is somebody who likes to dribble, he likes to pass the ball, and his concentration is strong. Aerial duels could be an issue for him, but I mean, we have players who are half the height in the national program, in the national setup. So you cannot rely on Kyle Walker Peters to be clearing all crosses that are entering into the Jamaica box. However, I think based on the fact that he has strong concentration, it shows that this guy is aware of his position on the pitch. And I have to point it out to you guys here by way of the representation here. Dribbling very strong, passing strong, concentration strong, weakness is aerial duels. But his style of play, he likes to dribble, likes to play short passes, does not dive into tackle. So that shows here, based on his style of play, that we can have somebody who can move out with the ball, he can progress with his play, he can make direct passes where necessary. I'm not going to say he's going to be the player who will make some long ball passes, which can be the ideal way that Steve McLaren would play because England managers or English players likes to distribute long ball, and Jamaica needs that. I won't say tiki taka type of play in the midfield or throughout the game, but we need to hold the ball more in possession, travel with the ball, and make some decent plays or passes. And I think Kyle Walker Peters, based on the details here, it proves that this guy have the capabilities of making Jamaica football different or elevate to the next level. Also, he does not dive into tackles. So I am seeing here that this guy will not throw away any unnecessary fouls, even though things can happen, but it is not the case for which he is reckless because remember, his concentration is strong. And I don't want to overrate him, but it is what was being said or what was being seen in the representation surrounding his style of play or his attributes. Furthermore, I want to point out to you that Kyle Walker Peters has been around for a good while. Age 27 should more so be now his prime age to play football at the highest level. And I think with the interest that he's generating to his coach, who wants for him to more so stay at Southampton, it proves that this guy is a useful asset. But look at this now for Kyle Walker Peters, whereas the middle section of this diagram is illustrating here. Kyle Walker Peters, passing attempt 97 percentile, pass completion 99 percentile, progressive passes 94 percentile, progressive carry 99 percentile, successful take on 97 percentile, touches 98 percentile, progressive passing REC 83 percentile. People, look at this for a fullback. If Jamaica can manage to have a Kyle Walker Peters, a Ben Godfrey, and an Ethan Pinnock, and a Tarek Mitchell, Amara Bell, or Greg Lee as a established back four. I'm not pushing aside Lemby Kisa, but I'm just highlighting the importance of this four at the back. Kyle Walker Peters is a progressive carrier of the ball. He is a dribbler. He's a good pass off the ball. He understands possession. He understands to remain concentrating on the objectives of the team. This would be an ideal back four for the Jamaica men's national team to have solid players with the experience at the highest level in the Premier League, of course, who will then make it easier for our team to win games, concede less goals then, and have that capabilities of making it to the next stage of the, let's say, World Cup, of course, and beyond. So, people, it looks good for Kyle Walker Peters. I mean, I'm just telling you the raw facts based on what I am seeing here. I am not making up anything. Of course, I just want to let you know that this player, I am not sure if he wants to play for Jamaica, seeing that Jamaica had that chance to for more persons to complete the petition that was being given out in 2021. But if Jamaica wants more for the team, then they have to generate the interest in getting new players and regenerate interest in players that they were looking at once. And I want to touch up on the final point here. Is it worth it for Steve McLaren to generate interest in Kyle Walker Peters recruitment? Of course, before I touch on this video, people, I have 1,541 subscribers. Please go ahead if you're new to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you are already a subscriber, you know what to do. So, I mean, Coach Steve McLaren would want to have the best of the best players in his team, players with good attitude, players with the right mentality on and off the pitch who can deliver. Players who may fall, if they fall, they can come back on their feet with a stronger man, with a stronger mentality. And I think Kyle Walker Peters is that type of player who you can develop. He can add to the Jamaica men's national team a dynamic type of performance, whereas it can be a case of which if Jamaica needs for creativity, needs for somebody to, I won't say turn the game on its head, but somebody who can make Jamaica football look a bit more attractive, then Kyle Walker Peters is that ideal option that Jamaica can rely on. He may not be a starter, but he may be a player with a personality that you can give instructions and he can come into the team games and make a difference. I mean, when you're representing not only your international country or even your club, when you're representing yourself, you have to have that standard because the more you're exposed, the more persons are looking at you. And I've never heard any statement about Kyle Walker Peters in the papers being a disruptive, disgusting type of person. I just see him plays football. When the game is over, then you see him no more. So I think this player would be a good option for Jamaica JFF. I would love for you guys to recommend or to do some scouting before the time goes out of our hand in getting in players who can make a difference. It is best to try than to ignore. And I think Coach Steve McLaren would like to have more depth in the right back position, whereas he's given those players who can at least contribute to his national team development within his tenure right now. I don't know how long he will be staying, but him giving more players to work with would be a blessing for his direction and also for Jamaica football. We want for Jamaica to be extended into that time for which they are getting better at what they were doing before, right? Yes, the Copa America was horrendous, but we see glimpse of brilliance against Ecuador, and we need to have a complete game. Whereas in throughout the 90 minutes period or close to 90 minutes period, we can play good football. We don't want to be a team with different halves of playing good or playing bad. So Kyle Walker Peters, I won't say he will be brilliant all to that, but he would be a player with levels above the norm for Jamaica because this guy was even linked to Manchester United before in the past. Well, let's say it's a good thing that he did not went there because the theater of dreams more so is not making person's dream come through, but we are seeing the difference though now in the new time under Ineos. But I am just showing you that this guy, Kyle Walker Peters, was generating big interest from clubs who have good history. I mean, this guy loves to play games. He likes to compete. He's generous. He's genuine. He loves to win games. And Jamaica needs a believer. Jamaica needs somebody who can receive the ball, give it to his teammates, even score goals if he doesn't, even though he haven't scored much for Southampton, but you can rely on him to do something that the normal persons cannot do. So, people, there could be a lot more that could be said, but it is for you now to let me know what's your thoughts surrounding the topic. Kyle Walker Peters, what makes him a captivating addition to the Jamaica men's national team? It is, of course, a question, and I did my part. It's time for you to share your voice. And of course, once you have your say, Premier 7 will indeed reply once I can. So it is time for me to go. You take care until we meet again. Bye bye for now.